Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are so excited that you decided to stop by and take part in our program today. I'm Lawana Parker, the host of Courage to Live Your Dream, and we are part of the Power Me Up Radio Network here on iHeartRadio, the station with a heart. I am excited because today I have a truly unique woman. I officially met her about 2 years ago. Well, let's say when COVID started. I've been watching her off and on, but I finally got to meet her, and she is truly a special, unique person. Her business is entitled Unity and Service, but most people know her as the Visibility Strategist Queen. And when I say queen, she is a queen because she knows what she's doing and she will make you shine if you work with her. So, without holding you off any longer, please help me welcome my very special guest, none other than Dr. Patricia Rogers. Dr.
Woo,
Rogers,
woo, woo, woo.
I am so happy to have you with us today.
Oh, wow. And I'm so excited to be with you as well, Dr. Lawana. Finally, we finally picked a date that worked for the both of us. And I'm just happy that we finally made it to this point. Yeah, I love connecting. I love being visible. I love branding. I love any opportunity that I have that comes my way to allow me to keep my face in the crowd so that people will know how I serve them is a bonus. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. But listen, I've gotten to know you, but the rest of the world may not know you. So please tell us how you got started in this business.
Well, first of all, I am Dr. Patricia Rogers, international best-selling author, international public speaker. I am an event coordinator, meaning I host events so that public speakers can speak while we fill the seats. I'm a social media marketer and I provide affordable access to wills, power attorneys, and living wills. And as I said before, my zone of genius is setting that platform for entrepreneurs to speak and sell their products so that they can receive visibility that will increase their brand. Now, how did I get started? I get started on all that because I was not all of that years ago. I was working for corporate America, which I did for 29 years. I worked in law enforcement. I retired in 2016 as a corrections lieutenant. And of course, a year or two before I retired, I already knew that I was not going back to work for anyone else. So I had to search out uh, what I was going to do. In order to do that, I started networking. There was a lot of networking going on. So I figured the best thing for me to do in order for me to learn what other entrepreneurs are doing, I needed to go be around them. And that's what I did. I did a lot of networking. And as I networked, I did become an associate of a company called Legal Shield. And that too is what drove me to network because I felt I would set up my tables, go to different community events. I would have events in my own backyard that would allow all the entrepreneurs to come over and give their 60-second infomercial because I felt if they say theirs in front of me, I get them in my backyard, then they have to hear what I do. And at that time, it was only Legal Shield. And I would provide the tables, I would provide the DJ, I would serve the food. I paid for everything, and basically is what I'm saying. And then when I began investing in my coaching, following people like Bill Walsh. He's one of my mentors. Nancy Matthews, Trish Carr, Susan Wiener with Women's Prosperity Network, and Sharon Lecter out in Arizona. I was flying all over the place, just getting what I needed before I retired. And when I retired, by the time I retired, I had already discovered that my hosting those events was a gift that I could monetize. And that's when I started going into hotels and I started selling tickets for people to come. And then my speakers were still free because I was learning the process. And that's what a lot of people don't take time to do, or they're down on themselves because they feel they don't know everything. But we don't know everything. It's a process. And as long as we know it's a process and we take one step in front of the other, the answers come. And that's what my coaches told me. They said, you're already hosting events. All you have to do now is monetize. And I've been doing that now for 7 years.
Well, listen, tell me something. A couple of years ago, we got hit by COVID, and I mean, it took everybody by surprise. And some people didn't know what to do when it happened. Now, I know a little bit of what happened with you, but you found a way to bounce back. Can you share some of that with us?
Oh, wow. Well, it's all about mindset, Dr. Lawana. In my own opinion, it's about mindset. It's about having a burning desire. It's about knowing your why and your purpose. And it's about the desire and the drive that you have to succeed in what your vision is that you have been given. And that drove me. And by me also being attached to organizations such as Women's Prosperity Network, which I mentioned before, and my coaches, Bill Walsh and all of those, a coach needs a coach. And by me being connected with those strong people who have already been through many obstacles on their journey, they told me all you have to do is pivot. You don't have to lose sight of your vision, just pivot. So by me doing live events at conferences, having conferences and at hotels, renting the rooms, blocking off the rooms, making sure everybody ate, all of those things. So I figure, well, how am I going to go online and put all that stuff online? I don't know how to do that. But what I did was I searched inside of myself, and COVID did a wonderful thing for me because it made me look back inside of myself and see what could I actually do online. And I thought about my gifts. Gifts, many of us don't know, or some of us do know, gifts are those things that people admire about you. And that's what I know when I say I found out my gift and then I monetize. So I thought about the video training. I thought about the videos. I love to use my cell phone, my smartphone as a video, as a branding tool. And I said in a group coaching session one day, I said, well, only thing I think I could do online is maybe I can put a video training together. Maybe I can show people how to use their smartphones create videos. And 4 women in that coaching session said, Pat, if you do that, I'll be the first to come. And that was my yes. That was my confirmation that I was following my passion. I was on the right track. And now the next thing was to put it together, go online, educate myself. How do I educate myself? By actually using all of these systems that are already in place for us, such as Eventbrite. And I was using it anyway for my event, so I used it for online. And I did my first online event on May 14th, 2020, after having to give back $14,000 that I collected for that year for that event just from the participants alone, because we have a pay and play arena. And I ended up giving all of that money back. But again, God is so good. And he allowed me to exceed that amount in that 1 year that I made my decision to go online and host that first event. We sold 101 tickets at a small fee for $10. And after that, I hosted about 9 more events. I just
Wow.
kept doing it. I kept doing it. Repetition is the key to our success as well. And we use the word consistency. It's the same thing. As long as we do something over and over and over again, we only become an expert in that area. And I've
Well,
been hosting ever since.
there's a couple of things that you've just said that I find is interesting and that people need to know more about. One, you mentioned Eventbrite, and I attended one of your master classes on there. And there is so much to Eventbrite that I feel most of us have no clue that's there for their use. And that training was just truly awesome. So I'd like you to share some of why you do these trainings, and also how do you uh, keep that motivation up, that drive that keeps you going when things like COVID hitting you, uh, And yet, instead of falling down and singing, "Oh, woe is me, why has everything happened to me just when I think things are going great?" And yet, instead of doing that, you found a way around it. How can we help others out there who may be struggling with trying to just get started and stay there?
Oh, that's a really powerful question you asked me, and I can only speak from my own opinion, experience, but anybody can do it. And the first thing I want to say to our listening audience is you have to have a power that you believe in that's greater than you. And we all know I like to call that God. But whatever power it is, it has to be a power greater than you, because that power is the resource, is the source that's going to give you all the things that you need. And sometimes we step out on our own laurels, and that resource can be a coach, anything and anybody that you have a lot of faith in that's going to push you to the next level. And a lot of times, you said it, instead of going hiding under a rock and woe is me, we need to latch on to those people, because people need people, and people are our best resource. And this is where we have to bond together, reach out to those people that you know love you, care about you enough that will encourage you. And sometimes that will even take investing in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to follow those people who have what you want. And I always believe that my destiny was already predestined.
Mm-hmm.
So all I have to do when I get these ideas and all of these things, and the thought to do something that's going to benefit me or my business, I know that it's a good thought. It comes from above. So I take a leap. So it's all about faith. It's all about exercising faith in a power greater than you. And it's definitely about believing in yourself. I always believe that if one person has done it, so can I do it too. It's simple as that. And I take the lead, do the action, and all the answers tend to fall in place. But when we stick and we stuck and we don't do nothing, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And what drives me the most is, at that particular time too, was I had to give back those $14,000. And I had made up in my mind that I'm going to recoup that money, even though it wasn't that money, but I was going to recoup that money. In other words, put myself in a position to continue to make, because I had no choice. I could either quit or I get myself online and get it together. And that's what I chose to do. And I just did it consistently because it trained me first, as while I was giving the information out to other people who was in the same boat as all of us. So everybody has been in that boat. So there's no reason for any of us to feel guilty or feel like we can't step out and get started or continue, because we all started at ground zero. And that was a bonus for me too. When I saw everybody had to start over. And that I jumped on that. I took advantage of that. But I also believe that money follows motion. So if I'm not working my business, if you're not working your business, you never enhance your bottom line. Money follows motion. What does that mean? I have to keep moving. And every event may not be as I may not have 100 people at every event, but if I have whatever I have, I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep moving, because it's about the service that I have to give, and those who want it come. They get it, not just me, but people like yourself who will be speaking at our upcoming event. You spoke at our last event. It's not me alone. It's everybody, anybody that sees the value in speaking and getting their message in front of other people and building their network. Those are the people that we look for to connect with in our organization. Unity and service, where people need people. I hope I
I
answered you
absolutely,
a
I
lot.
love that people need people because it's true. But you also mentioned, and I'll get back to the Eventbrite and some of the other things that you help people with. You mentioned coaching. Uh, Why do you feel that it's important that everyone has a coach?
I feel it's important because we all have challenges in life. And challenges, if we think about it, they mostly come when we have made a decision to do something that's great, that can be great, or that can be good, whether it's for the good of me or the good of others. And those challenges come. And a coach teaches you or basically encourages you to keep moving because they had to do it. They already been there. So a coach is essential. I always say coaches need coaches. Everybody has to have someone that they can depend on and rely on, who will be honest with them and who will tell them the truth and who will guide them and who will share valuable insight on how they can too make it to the next level. So coaches are essential. And I find that many people, some people that I have spoken to from time to time, uh, for instance, when I do a lot of social media connections, and I may talk to a young lady that may say, "Well, I'm writing a book. I'm not haven't been on social media lately because I'm working on my project or I'm working on a book." Well, my response to them is, so what are you saying? Are you saying that you're not going to be on social media until you finish your project or your book? Yeah, I needed to take time off. I say, well, if you do that and you're not building connections, who's going to buy your book when you come on site if they don't know who you are and like and trust you? So it sort of makes them step back and think. Just because we have challenges, we can't stop the process. We have to continue the process, no matter what. But this is why coaches come into play. This is why organizations come into play, of groups of people. When I say organizations, networking. When I say groups of people who are doing the same thing, because our energy comes from people.
Exactly. I truly believe that. Um, then when people make up their mind about what they want to do, it sounds like you're telling me that they need to be out there on social media while they're doing it, not waiting until after the fact and think people are going to say, oh, wow, here's a new person. I'm going to go buy from
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's where visibility comes in at when because I saw so much of that. I still see it. People who are in business, they don't get on social media. People I talk to and they say, well, I know I need to be on social media more. That statement alone is what helped me look at the fact that visibility is essential. And then I've heard so many times that people do business, people they know, like, and trust. Well, I've lived it and I understand that it's a true statement because I know that by my being on social media, when I hosted my live events, they were live and people would fly in from all over because they saw me on social media. I had a gentleman, he would come every year from all the way from London to
Wow.
be in the event. And so this is what I've had, major influencers speak on our stages. And they flew in, Bill Walsh and all of them, they flew in, so this is the way it is. And if you want something bad enough, you're going to put the time in. And 24 hours in a day, you're telling me you can't get on social media 20 minutes a day to an hour here and there. It doesn't even have to be consistently. Just pop your head in, see who's talking to you. Make a comment. Likes don't count, because when you make a comment, people will see that profile picture, and people like myself who are on these platforms for an intentional reason, such as connecting with the right people who are moving in the same direction, they will click your profile picture. And this is why I teach my clients, you gotta show up professionally. You have to have your profiles in order. You have to have your pages looking good, because people are attracted to that. And those same people will be requested to be your friends. And this is one of the ways that we grow our network. But if we don't take pride in our platforms, realizing this is all we have nowadays, if we don't take time to go on social media, to talk to people, comment on other people's comments, you can comment. We see a lot of stuff on there. But a lot of times people will say, well, I'm just that person that sits on the sideline watching. Well, that's what they're doing now. But when they get inspired enough and they get their nerve up enough and they're ready to market what they want to market or do, nobody's going to be responding, and they're going to wonder why nobody said. Because you never gave anybody else a chance. You never talked to anybody. You never gave the person a chance to get to know you. So this is why it's imperative to not wait. We don't wait. We don't wait until we think we got it together. We work while we are going through the process, which is what you just said. That's what we have to do
Okay.
because people, again, need people.
Meet people, absolutely. Well, we're getting short on time, and I really want you to share with people what they can expect from you if they work with you, and also to tell us about your upcoming event and how they can reach out to you, contact you.
Okay, first of all, when people work with me, I am a visibility strategist and I show you how to make an impact when you show up, period. That means if you're showing up on Zoom, a lot of times people don't realize the value of some of the features that are on Zoom platforms, StreamYard platforms, Restream. They always allow us an opportunity to put a background up. And that's for a purpose, in my own opinion. And some people don't recognize that purpose, that how we show up can affect people doing business with us. So I believe that virtual background should have information on it that depicts me as a business owner. Me coming on a platform, driving a car, cats in my lap, dogs in my laps, me on the phone. I don't think that that's appropriate for me because I have to think about the person who's speaking, who's hosting that event. Those people who are on that platform will be more focused on me and my behaviors as opposed to hearing the true message that the speaker at the time may be presenting. So those everybody has rules to the game. And they
Mhm.
don't write down all the rules, but we have to make our own up as we go in some cases. Every business has their own policies and procedures, including our personal business. And that's one reason that I am very a stickler for how we show up because I do not like to distract from the people who are speaking on our platforms. So we give all of our people a virtual background, a custom background when they're in our events with their picture on it, their name, their title, and then that we all have a standard color. And then all of our attendees are sent a special customized virtual background, basically, that also depicts our events. So that if they know how to use them, we ask them to put them up. If they don't know, we give them our phone number and tell them to reach out to us before the event. So when people work with me, Dr. Luana, they get value. When they work with me, I'm going to, like I said, first of all, integrity is everything. And if I'm not going to sugarcoat something, when I see something, I say something because a lot of times people will not correct us or help us, do better because everybody's fighting, trying to do better themselves. So they're not going to try to make you look better because it gives, that's
Mhm.
not what I'm about. I'm about results. And therefore, I want to see all of us succeed.
I heard Trish Carr say at one of your events, and I have to agree with her, is that when you explain to us what you want done and how you want it done, and expect us to follow through on that, you lift all of us up. It's not just you, but all of us are lifted to be better, to look better, to do better. And that is something special. And I, for one, appreciate the fact that you do that. And for those of you who have never attended one of her events, you have got to go because it's just beautiful when you go there and you see all these people who are in, they're all with the same thing. You're not looking at, oh, I got to see what's over here or I got to see what's over there. It's great just to see her events, and I can't say enough about them. They're always packed with a lots of good information. And speaking of good information, you
Thank you.
have an event coming up on the 22nd, which you are going to share some automate your systems information. So please tell us about that and tell us what we can do to get a ticket to that event.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, this event is basically what we call a master class. And again, it's training, and I do a lot of training. I do that between my big events. And this one, we're going to be talking about website design. We're going to be talking about how to build a landing page. One of my assistants, my partner, Joss, he's from India, and he's going to be sharing about how to build a landing page. Also, we're going to have Miss Manure from Chicago. Manure is a hobby. She's going to be talking about podcasting because a lot of people want to do podcasts and they don't know where to start, which is what you said before. Sometimes people don't know where to get started. Come to this event and you're going to get a wealth of knowledge. And we know we can't say it all at one time, but we know we can always follow up with us one-on-ones later. Then we also have another young lady by the name of Dr. Lawada Parker. She's going to be talking about blogging because blogging has so many benefits that people don't even realize. They just think of when the blogging, you think of the word writing. Well, blogging has a lot to do with your health. It has a lot to do with relieving stress. And I'm going to leave that alone because the rest is in the system.
Thank you.
I'm gonna let you tell your story at the event. I'm gonna leave that one alone because I get going on that one. I love the writing. I
Oh,
love the
wow.
writing.
Well,
Yes.
thank you so much. And especially thank you for being here today. We're out of time
Okay.
to have our guests here speaking with us, but I do want to encourage you, please, whatever you do, come to this event. I will have the contact information provided for you so that you can get a ticket to attend it. And $10 is a very small amount to invest in yourself for
Yes.
the information that you are going to receive. This lady has so much knowledge, and the people she surrounds herself with, if she can't do it, they'll fill in the gaps for her. But trust me, there's not much that she can't do when it comes to social media. This is
Thank
the
you.
lady you want to know and to help you to become the success that you've always dreamed of. I'm so happy to be associated with you. I'm thrilled to death to be part of your group. It has been a pleasure knowing you these past 2 years, and I just look forward to so much more because I know it's there with you. And we didn't get to
Absolutely.
get back on Eventbrite, but hey, come to the event.
Yes.
And
Yes.
if they
Yes.
don't talk about it at this event, they will at another one. You will get
Absolutely.
everything you need to know when it comes to how to use Eventbrite. Again,
Awesome.
I definitely encourage you to go to this program. That's April the 22nd, and that's at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So please don't miss
Thank
this
you.
event, all right? Again,
Awesome.
thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Rice. Dr. Rice, Dr. Rogers.
That's okay.
You know, I had one of my favorite authors. Her name is Patricia Rice, and for some reason, I keep wanting to throw her name in with yours. But this is Dr. Patricia Rogers, the visibility strategist queen. All right, you
Awesome.
definitely want to
Thank
get to
you.
know her. We thank you for being with us, sharing this time with us, and listening to what she has had to say. And I want to encourage you to come back. Remember, always we have someone here that's going to give you some wonderful tips or advice on how you can get your business going, even if you're only just thinking about it.
Yes.
You have to start somewhere. And as she mentioned about asking for help, please ask for help. Don't miss out because you're afraid to open your mouth. I did that, and it took me a lot of years of missing out on what I could have enjoyed. So, again, thank you for being with us. We encourage you to come back to Courage to Live Your Dream, the show where we always try to provide you with the tips and information that you need to carry on. This is Dr. Lawana Parker. I am the host, and we look forward to seeing you always on iHeart Radio, the station with a heart. So until next time, remember, stay safe and keep the faith. Hey everyone, this is Lawana, and I am the CEO of Courage to Live Your Dream, also Journal for Success. I am here today with my very special guest, Miss Vivien Mangalindan, and I'm probably mispronouncing her name, but she is better known as Miss V. She is a show host for Show and Tell. She's also a social commentator. We're so excited that she's joining us again. This is her second time coming on, and this is a pleasure to have you here. I am so truly excited. So, Vivian, tell us a little about who Miss V is.
Well, I am someone people always mistake for Lawana because we look alike, we sound alike, and we even laugh the same way. So that's who I am. I'm her twin, separated at birth from halfway around the world. Now, is that fake news, Lawana, or what?
Call it what you wish. But it's so wonderful to have a twin that I can converse with these days.
Ah, I like the magic word. You're really my twin. Conversation is what's lacking. Recitation of data and information. Plenty. It's called plagiarism, courtesy of Mr. Google. But conversation of the wacky kind, like Lawana and me, right?
I love Mr. Google. I have to tell you, there is so much knowledge there. I have gone for just about anything I wanted to know or do. That's the first place I head. See if I can find all the tidbits that I want there. And you'd think I'd be an expert at it, but there's still so much to Google that I don't know and understand.
That's interesting that you said that, Lawana.
Mhm.
People who go to Google end up with a lot of data,
Mhm.
a lot of information. And then they say they have a lot of knowledge. And I go, uh-huh. And where is the wisdom? Where is the applied knowledge? And they're like, ew. ew.
Did you get that, folks?
Right. There's so much information.
Mm.
So I'm like, so what? My famous, I'm known for that. So what? Did it change your life? Do anything? Come on, like Lawana. I know I'm supposed to walk at least 30 minutes a day. I know that. I have the data, the information, I have the knowledge. I can recite it to kingdom come. But do I do it? Ew.
And you know what's the sad part is? When I was younger, I exercised every day. And I
Wow.
remember when I moved to Sacramento, there was this program called the 20-minute workout. And they had three different levels going on at the same time. And you worked with the one that was you were best suited for. I faithfully did that every day.
Wow.
And then in one moment, my life was shattered and I never went back to doing those exercises again. The result, as you can see, I am broader now.
That's very,
However, knowing that you would think I would find the motivation somewhere to get up and do some more exercises, even if it's just a little bit of walking.
why don't I make you feel better? And a lot of the people there can relate to this. And for all we know, Lawana, we could be triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets all around the world, right? Why? My
Oh,
famous justification theory. It's called, but I only gained a pound January, February. But I only gained a pound March. But I only gained a pound 3 months, 3 pounds. 30 years, that's the story of my life. Yeah,
well, I remember telling myself, oh, well, I'm not out there looking, so I don't have to worry about that. I was so easy to convince myself that, well, since you're not out there hunting,
yeah,
why worry about it? You could lose it later.
yeah,
I won't tell you how many pounds later I'm looking at myself and going, whoa, I should
that
have listened to that other voice that said, stop it now. You need to let go of some of this. But I'm still having fun no matter how. Still
Lawana.
always.
Come on. We have a lot of what? Triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets.
Hmm.
We all have the same exercise. It's called the tomorrow exercise. And remember, it comes with the free of charge, the tomorrow diet.
Yeah, I read this funny, it's just, and it said, I have a Tuesday routine that I do faithfully every Tuesday. And the person is looking at them like, and what is that routine? I eat all the things that I told myself I couldn't have on Monday. Mm, I think I have that routine down pat.
You
Oh,
know what's happening, Lawana? We're laughing. It's called nervous laughter from guilty people.
oh, yes, and I'm feeling guilty right now as I sip on this coffee.
My goodness.
Hmm.
When you mentioned Tuesday, it
Mm.
reminded me of cartoons from yesteryears. Do you remember who this guy was? I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a day.
One of my favorite cartoons. That was Wimpy from Popeye.
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh. All those cartoons from back in those days that we were just in love with. And then someone said, oh, but they were so violent. But then I look at the cartoons that they make today and I'm thinking, they're far more violent than anything we ever watched. So, and nobody says anything.
That is true. But anyway, that's true, huh? I'd gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. It reminds me, I'd gladly exercise on Tuesday for the calories today.
Hmm. Yep, I do a lot of that too. Oh, I'll start Monday. Nope, 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 nope. No, let's make it Wednesday. Wednesday will be my day to exercise. But then
I
Wednesday
like,
comes. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that.
that's right.
I don't have
I,
time.
Lawana, I read this funny quote. What is the busiest day of the week where you're
So,
really full? Ask me what?
okay, what is the busiest day of the week?
The busiest day is tomorrow.
You got a point. You got
Although,
a point. So we're always talking about what we're going to do tomorrow. Absolutely. I almost said, oh, no, 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 it's Monday because you got to catch up on all the things you didn't do on Friday.
the people are probably wondering why we're laughing about this. If I may share and give me your take on this, yesteryears, I used to be like, oh my gosh, I didn't feel it. I have this checklist Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Mhm,
Tuesday, there's a spillover for Monday, and you know how that goes. By
mhm,
Thursday, I'm like, right. Now, I just look. I look at the calendar on the wall,
mhm.
and then I look, and I'm like, who cares? Who cares?
Oh my gosh, I when I was working, I remember I used to color code stuff, to keep track of what was what. And now it's just I'm lucky if I remember to write it down. A long time about color coded it. So,
Okay, I like what you just said. You
mhm.
see, can you see this in front of
Uh-huh.
me? It's a marking pen, and I have another one. See, I
Hmm.
have all the colors, but I have a problem. Ask me what.
And what's that problem?
I cannot remember what the colors stand for.
Well, even then, I had to write my own little legend of what each color stood for because, like you, I will. What?
Oh, and here's another one where people ask me, "What are you doing?" I say, "I'm highlighting," and then they're like, "But you've colored the entire page." I'm like, "Oh, ew." I have orange, I have blue, I have it. It's
Mm.
got all colors. And I'm like, wait, well, what was that color about? It's so funny. I mean, I think I learn while marking. Not that I will know what it's. I don't know. I should invest in stocks on, marker pens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, all my notebooks, my diary, uh, the books, it's so colorful. Ask me what the colors stand for. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you just mentioned about the stock, and I was told that if you're going to invest in the stock market, you should always invest in the stocks of the products that you buy most often. So if you're going to spend money, spend it on yourself. You get a little bit of a return on it. So
Uh,
that's something to remember.
Okay, so marker pens and lip gloss. I use more lip gloss than dark lipstick. Can you believe that? And I buy lip gloss here. That's a good one. I buy lip gloss and what do you call that? Lip moisturizer, lip balm.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Imagine at my age, right? I'm just using stuff that's for tweens, for the tweens, right? Or the young teens. And that's what I use. Ask me why.
Okay, why?
Because it looks natural. And but then you say, but they don't really have color. Ah, Zoom does.
Yes, it does.
Zoom has color.
The magic of Zoom.
Yeah,
Uh, and now that's a company I should have had stock in.
yeah, that's
Hmm.
true.
Hmm. So,
That's true.
but yes, thing I like about Zoom is that it helps give you that little touch up that you need. It'll give you beautiful lips. I bet you thought I had pretty lips out there. Well, it's all the magic of Zoom and the eyebrows and thing. Oh, they do the whole job. I
That's
love it.
interesting. I totally agree with what Lawana's saying. So that's how I do it. I just get the Zoom lipstick and then I use lip balm, or there's a lip balm that's flat and there's a lip balm that's glossy.
Mm-hmm.
So I like glossy, but here's the punchline. When I'm late or too lazy to draw my eyebrows, which take forever, I use this eyebrows and they're fine until ta 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 ta, your internet is unstable. What does that mean? It means my eyebrows go like this, like that. And when I go like this, they're still here. And when I go like that, they're still there. Like, duh.
I haven't experienced that yet, but I have heard others who have said that very same thing that when they have internet problem, the lipstick stays in place when they move their head.
Ah, okay. I like what you're saying. Remember Popeye in the good old days? Do you notice his lips were always on his pipe and his lips were always here?
Hmm.
So and you notice when Popeye looks there, his pipe is here. But when Popeye looks here, his pipe is there. Like, wait a minute.
How did that magically switch sides?
Well, I suddenly gained the wisdom when it said on my screen, your internet is unstable. I'm like, so it's unstable. And then I could see myself, woing, 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 woing. I'm like, oh. So I thought it was just on my end until I got a message in chat like, why are you making funny faces?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's been enjoyable talking to you here. Why don't you share some of your funny anecdotes? Ladies and gentlemen, I heard her give a presentation this morning that was just absolutely wonderful. And I'm trying to use some of those tips that she shared with us. For those of you on the radio, you won't be able to see it, but if you happen to catch me over on Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire, you'll notice that I trying to be cute in a charming way.
Ah, I talked about charming, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I thought of something that they will enjoy both on video and on audio. On video, you will see my face. On audio, you will hear my voice tone. We do know when we're told by our boss or our business partners that we have to make a simple report, even a 5 minute or a 2 minute report. We have to have the one, right? As I said, the niceties.
Mm-hmm.
And then they look like this for our viewers, and they sound like this for our listeners. The face. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I am so delighted to be here. Like, yeah, your face really looks delighted. And then your voice really sounds super delighted. Lawana, I wish people would think in the moment and remember to just make sure that their face, their facial expression, and their voice tone plus the words they choose should all tie up. Remember,
Mm-hmm.
I am delighted. And the face looks what? I call it mortuary, right? The voice tone sounds like you put all your money in the stock market and it crashed, and then you say delighted. Nawana, can you give me your reaction to that?
Well, if I'm going by your facial expression, I'm not believing anything you say.
Oh,
Because you cannot say you're happy and have a sad face. The two just do not mix. All right. Um, I forget
ha,
who said it, but the person said you cannot uh, be happy and sad at the same time. So you have to choose.
yeah.
And I always choose to be happy. So if I laugh a little too much, sorry, folks, I'm staying happy.
Well, Lawana, to put it briefly, since there must be some parents tuned in now, whether watching or listening, please, pretty please, don't ever do this to your kids or grandkids. You look at them with a face like this, and what do you say? Finish your vegetables, and I'm only doing this because it's good for your health. You know that I care for you and that I love you. So finish your vegetables right now. I'm like, okay, so that's loving. I'm confused. Can you explain that to me? Oh my gosh, what a threat.
I cannot possibly explain that. It's I remember one time when my mother threatened to give me a whooping, and I don't remember what the reason was. And I remember thinking to myself, you don't have to threaten to whoop me. Just tell me what it is you want me to do or not do. you know, just the idea that you might reach for that belt will deter me from doing it. I don't need to be threatened.
You know the one
But parents don't haven't, and you can't do that with all children. Some children you can talk to though, and explain the situation. They'll listen and they'll follow and obey the rules. But there are some because in my house there was a lot of us, and I had two sisters. We're all trained the same, taught. We were treated the same. There was no difference in the way we were treated, and yet those two are totally different from the rest of us. Always was getting into some kind of trouble. Not serious
oh,
trouble where my mom had to be running down to a jail or a juvenile hall for them, but just things in the neighborhood or in the house that they would just had to go against the rule. And then I had one who was super, super, super nice, really
question.
nice. Hmm.
I'm curious. Did they react to your mom's angry face, happy face? Like sometimes we don't have to scold kids, we just have to show the angry face. They didn't, no reaction.
To be perfectly truthful, I don't remember my mother ever talking to us in different with different facial expressions. We always knew when she was happy, but when she was talking to us, I don't remember her facial expressions changing. But I know my husband never had to raise his voice to the kids. He had a look that said it all, and they knew when when to be quiet and do what he said. It
Now that's
was
interesting.
wonderful.
Remember what I just shared with your group a while ago?
Hmm.
Remember, when you want someone to agree with you, you're supposed to deliver it like this. Don't you think
You think
so?
so?
Don't you think so?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yes.
We'll save that for another day, right? I can give. Do you enjoy
Mm.
all of these tips, tools, and techniques that I'm
Oh, they
sharing?
were great. They were great because we don't really give thought to how we could look better on camera. We just excited that we get on there. But you gave us some wonderful working tools of how we can look better, how we can make the audience feel that we're talking to each one of them individually, and how we can give you the impression that we on the other side are looking specifically at you and not all the other faces that are on the camera. So, yeah, there was some great tips, and I especially like, don't you agree?
You like that?
That was wonderful because we've always been taught in Toastmasters that when you want people to agree with something, you you ask a question and you raise your hand. Everybody else will follow suit. You you say something that you want them to agree with, and you're nodding your head in agreement, so everybody else follows suit. So that was a wonderful tip, and it doesn't look so contrived. It's more like natural.
That is my brand. How to be natural
Mhm,
and conversational.
mhm,
Yeah, natural and conversational are the two main ingredients for high impact presence on cam, which is the opposite of what they've been saying. Speak to impress. I'm like, no. What about no? Don't you understand? No, no fake news. And there's no such thing as fake it till you make it. No. Can you imagine? You go to a doctor, he'll fake it till he makes it. You'll go to a dentist, he's gonna fake it till he makes it. I'm like, what about
Not
no?
on
Don't
me.
you understand?
Don't fake it till you make it on me. Oh wow, that would be just awful. But
So don't,
but listen, we're getting low on time, so and I don't want to leave here without you sharing with us some of the things that you do. For those of you who don't know, Vivian is here live with us all the way from the Philippines. So it's the middle of the night for her. Share with us some things that you do. I know you have the talk show, the show and tell show.
yes.
Mhm,
And when I'm not on TV or radio, or as we have here, teleradio, it's TV and radio at the same time.
mhm,
You really do is straight from the heart. I am a mental health first aid responder. I have been involved in attitude, behavior, and character, the softer side of
mhm,
mental health. I am not into the meds, not into the heavy stuff, but into the daily stuff, meaning mental health for emotional healing and just having happier days. Remember, we can't choose what happens to us, but we can choose how to react. Doesn't that make
amen
sense?
to that.
Yeah. And on another day, I can share with you. You say, that's my reality. Well, again, what happens to you uh, is only 20%. How you react, that's 80%. And nowadays, we all know what's going on. We don't want to go down that road about telling people, watch how you react. And my message now is think before you talk, think before you click on your gadget, and think before you act. There
Mm.
are just some things in life you cannot undo. That's the kind of mental health that I'm into. It's called practical mental health. And people, Nawana, in closing, let me ask, when I said, is that mental health? I said, well, remember, you go to the gym to be fit. Don't you think you want to be mentally fit?
Agreed.
Don't you think so? You like that, Lawana? Don't you think
Absolutely.
so?
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. And beneath all of that, I'm a certified mental toughness coach where you have to get down and get things done. That's the tougher side, like because of the pandemic, how to reboot, how to reinvent yourself, and how to just get through one day at a time, one step at a time. It's been 24 months. Some people, it's still not any better than the first day, but one step at a time, one day at a time to just survive every day, Lawana. I think we should give ourselves applause, right?
I think so too. We give ourselves applause. We survived. We're still here. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. And Vivien, thank you for reaching out and connecting with us. And we're going to have you back again on the show. And as for all of you, remember, this is Courage to Live Your Dream. And I hope to hear you here every week when we do a program with special guests. I look forward to comments from you. And please, whatever you do, share the show with your family and friends and others along the way. So until next week, as I always tell people, please stay safe and always keep the faith.